a primordial ant species, ordinarily growing wings out of nowhere. Evolutionary biologists at Harvard discovered that every single ant carries the hidden genetic blueprint to fly, but a secret biological system keeps it locked away. If you miss how this hidden system activates, you'll never understand why these insects are forced to brutally rip their own wings off just to survive. Let's go inside the nest to see exactly, step-by-step process of how an ordinary ant transforms into a flying king.
Deep beneath the ground, millions of ants are born every year. But hidden among them, a small number are being chosen for a completely different future. Scientists discovered that the decision begins long before an ant ever sees daylight. These tiny structures may look insignificant now, but they will eventually become one of the most important inventions in ant evolution. Not every larva receives the same resources. In many ant species, nutrition becomes one of the first signals that influences who may one day grow wings. But food alone is not enough. Invisible hormones are also sending instructions, telling certain larvae to follow a completely different developmental path. Inside the chosen larvae, genetic programs begin switching on. The colony is quietly deciding who will someday reproduce and who never will. Somewhere inside this larva, the first foundations of flight are beginning to appear. And in the next stage, those hidden structures will start becoming wings. In future queens and males, these tiny discs gradually expand throughout larval growth, preparing for an extraordinary transformation. Inside the pupa, body systems are completely reorganized. The hidden discs unfold and begin taking the recognizable shape of wings. What begins as a tiny disc is gradually reshaped into a complex wing capable of supporting flight, navigation, and reproduction. Before flight becomes possible, the body enters one of insect biology's most dramatic transformations, the pupal stage. Inside the pupa, body systems are completely reorganized. The hidden discs unfold and begin taking the recognizable shape of wings. But the wings are only part of the story. Next, the colony begins constructing the powerful flight machinery hidden inside the thorax. The wings are growing rapidly, but without powerful muscles, they could never lift the ant into the air. Deep inside the thorax, thousands of muscle fibers assemble, creating one of the insect world's most powerful flight engines. Enormous energy reserves are built throughout the body, preparing every future wing beat for the demanding flight ahead. As development continues, the wings and flight muscles begin working together for the very first time. Strengthening veins spread across each growing wing, giving the delicate membrane support and flexibility during flight. While future queens invest in wings and flight muscles, worker ants never develop this remarkable aerial machinery. The wings are fully formed and the muscles are ready, but one final stage must prepare the body for flight. After weeks of hidden development, the transformation is nearly complete, and the winged ant prepares to emerge. The young winged ant finally appears, its body soft, pale, and its newly formed wings still crumpled. Body fluids flow through tiny wing veins, slowly expanding the folded wings into their full adult shape. The exoskeleton begins to harden through sclerotization, strengthening the body for the intense forces of flight. Powerful flight muscles activate inside the thorax, testing the entire flight system before the first takeoff. Future queens and males gather near the colony entrance, waiting for the perfect combination of weather and season. The wings have hardened, the flight engine is complete, and now the colony waits for the signal to rise into the sky. For weeks, sometimes even months, these winged ants have waited underground until changing weather signals that the perfect moment has finally arrived. Across the landscape, neighboring colonies release their winged ants, creating one of nature's largest synchronized reproductive events. This spectacular event is called the nuptial flight, where future queens and males leave the safety of the colony forever. High above the ground, males search frantically for queens, knowing this brief flight is their only chance to reproduce. After mating, the queen stores millions of sperm inside a specialized organ, allowing her to fertilize eggs for years or even decades. For most males, the journey ends soon after mating, but for the queen, an entirely new life is only just beginning. Her wings have completed their purpose, and hidden at their base is a remarkable mechanism about to transform her forever. Long before the queen ever took flight, her body formed specialized fracture zones designed for one extraordinary moment after mating. Powerful muscles flex inside the thorax, placing increasing stress on these built-in breaking points at each wing base. Instead of tearing randomly, each wing separates along a precise fracture line, leaving behind a clean, specialized attachment site. Within just a few minutes, all 4 wings are gone, marking the permanent end of the queen's flying life. Her massive flight muscles now begin breaking down, recycling valuable nutrients to fuel egg production and long-term survival. The queen searches carefully for a safe place beneath the soil where she can disappear and begin building a new colony. While this queen was destined to grow wings and reproduce, millions of her sisters followed a completely different path from the very beginning. The greatest surprise is that many larvae begin life with the potential to follow more than one developmental path. In many ant species, nutrition becomes one of the earliest influences, helping determine which larvae may become future reproductives. Hormones then translate those environmental signals, guiding each growing larva toward a very different biological destiny. Future queens invest in wings, flight muscles, and reproduction, while workers develop the specialized tools needed to serve the colony. Producing winged ants requires an enormous investment, so only a tiny fraction are chosen to become future queens and males. Workers may never take to the skies, but they become the living foundation that keeps the entire colony alive. From the earliest stages of development, tiny biological differences can shape 2 completely different lives inside the very same colony. After sealing herself underground, the queen begins the single task that will define the rest of her extraordinary life. Over the following weeks, her first eggs hatch into larvae, bringing the next generation of the colony to life. When the first workers finally emerge, the queen is no longer alone in building her new colony. Months become years as the colony grows, until a single queen is surrounded by thousands of devoted descendants. And then the cycle quietly begins again, as only a few young larvae are chosen to develop wings. The colony is more than a collection of ants. It is a living system, constantly deciding its own future. So if wings aren't determined by genetics alone, how many future queens are walking through this colony right now without anyone knowing? If you had been born here, would you become a queen, a king, or a worker? Tell us below.